Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a little evening catechesis with myself, Seminarian Thomas. So, I have a question for you guys. Have you ever felt really welcomed before? I was thinking about this question, and I thought of a time where I felt very welcomed. It was actually a couple years ago. I was studying Spanish in Mexico City. And I was gone for pretty much the whole summer, and I was down there with a friend, so that was good. But I was away from most of my friends and my family for the whole summer, and I missed them a lot. And flying home, I was walking out of the airport terminal, and lo and behold, my parents were there and my siblings, and they had a sign for me welcoming me home. And I felt just very loved and welcomed at that time. So think about a time that you guys have felt welcomed in your life. Now I'm going to try and tie that into what I'm talking about. So this Sunday in the church, we are celebrating Palm Sunday. So this Sunday we commemorate Jesus entering into the city of Jerusalem. And he's welcomed. He's greatly welcomed, actually. He rides in on a donkey, and the people have palms, why it's called Palm Sunday, and they're praising him, and they're placing the palms at his feet as he rides into the city. Now, kings in the past would ride in on great horses, and because they were like military men, and they showed off their pride. But Jesus comes on a donkey. He comes humbly, and he comes to serve, because he's a king for others, and not for himself. And so Jesus enters into the city and is welcomed, and he's acclaimed by the people as the Messiah. So the one that has been prophesied through all of salvation history, he has come and people have recognized him as the Messiah. So our Palm Sunday liturgy, which we would usually have on Sundays, it's still going to go on, but the very first thing we'll read about is that entry into Jerusalem. And then later on, we will hear the Passion narrative from the Gospel of Matthew. So that's when Jesus on Holy Thursday has his Last Supper with his disciples, and then he dies on the cross on Good Friday. So it's kind of a crazy turn of events. It's kind of a roller coaster in a sense, because at one time, Christ is praised and loved and treated as the Messiah, and then just within that week, things go downhill, and by the end, he's betrayed, even by his closest friends, who he spent the last 3 years with. So Jesus goes through this crazy turn of events this week, and he invites us to enter into that as well. So I have a couple questions for you. The first one I think that we can meditate on is, how do you welcome others? Do you welcome them with a smile into your presence? Do you look for the person who's unwelcomed and try and bring them in and invite them in? How do you invite your siblings into your room? Do you say, hey, get out of here? Or do you say, hey, welcome to my room? How do we invite people into our homes? We'll probably get a chance to do that, God willing, in the next month or so. We'll be excited to do that. But how do we welcome people as Christ? Now, the second question I have to offer you is, how are you friends with Jesus even when things are hard? Even when people may make fun of you for being a Christian, or think what you do is silly, or being a Catholic is silly or doesn't make sense. When people attack Jesus or don't like him, do you side with them, or are you going to remain Jesus' friend? We see in the gospel that even Jesus' closest friends betrayed him. And every time we sin, we do betray him. but he always invites us back. That's why he's our best friend. But in those times where it's hard and when your faith is questioned, will you remain with Jesus or will you betray him? So think about those things this week. We miss you here at St. Michael. This weekend, I hope on Sundays you've been doing something with your family, some type of prayer. We encourage you to pray our Sunday supplication. It's kind of like a prayer guide that will guide you along through the Sunday readings with some reflection questions and things like that. We would love for you to pray that with us at St. Michael. So have a great rest of the week, and God bless you.